Greetings, Nova Southeastern University athletes and supporters from the time that I was there as Sports Information Director from 1995 to 2000. I reach out to you today because I have a challenge for you, a call to action, if you will, and that is help me nominate the student athletes from our time into the NSU Athletics Hall of Fame. I reach out to you today because it is my feeling, and only my feeling, that you, the athletes from 15 to 20 years ago, the Knights of NSU, are slowly being eliminated from Hall of Fame consideration. Now, that's not to say that those from our day are not represented. Including players and coaches, there are 17 individuals from that time who have been inducted into the Hall of Fame, including Coco Cubillas, Shannon Sawyer, Sonny Hansley, Sherry Waddell, Sherrod Hernandez, Claude Love, Thomas Rongan, Kim Eason, Christian Goffey, Jen Reinauer, Cheryl Bond, Matthew Perry, Jen Remby, Danielle DiGregorio, Felipe Suarez, Heidi Wickham, but none since Johnny Ramos in 2013. And in my opinion, that is just wrong. It is wrong because there are so many other worthy student athletes from that time who deserve to be nominated, considered for inclusion, and inducted into the Hall of Fame. Those such as Stacy Bronstein from tennis, or Kit Larson and David Cook from golf, Michelle Mertens volleyball, John Hassel baseball, Cameron Morgan softball, Jeff Pianis basketball, Chris Hannon and Marty Graydon cross-country, and softball head coach Robin Handler. Those are just individuals that I am quickly thinking of. There might be many, many more. So this is where you come in. This is where I challenge you. This is where I ask for your help. This is your call to action. This is what needs to happen now. Think back 15 to 20 years ago when you were at NSU, and think back of the great student athletes and coaches that you played alongside, and then nominate them. Go to nsusharks.com and under Fan Zone, open up the Hall of Fame tab, and then nominate an individual deserving of such recognition. Now, one huge tidbit to keep in mind. When Nova promoted me and I left athletics in late 1999, all of the team media guides, complete with team statistics and yearly records, were taken out of my office and locked away in a storage room at A.D. Griffin. They were not found until many years later, and after being found, they were moved and lost again. That is why so many records that you and your team set back then are either listed inaccurately or not listed at all. Now, I say this because when you nominate someone for the Hall of Fame, you must not only include the statistics and accolades from that individual, but you also must include proof from either the media guides or news articles. I learned this the last couple years when I contacted someone who had worked at NSU to personally make a push for an athlete's inclusion that I was nominating. I was told upon receiving my nomination that all statistics and information needed to be verified by the current NSU information that they had at that time. Well, that was not a good response to tell the former SID, so I replied that the statistics that NSU has are continuously posted and flaunted inaccurately, that the accurate information from our day has not been used. I was then ignored. That is when I learned that I needed to also include actual proof from the media guides or news articles. Folks, I don't have all that information. I have only saved a few media guides from back in the day, and some of the ones that I did have, I gave to NSU so they could go through and hopefully make the necessary updates to the stats and the records. Go through your stuff. Find the old records and the statistics and the media guides and the news articles and nominate those who are deserving of Hall of Fame recognition. You all provided and made for an amazing time of my life. You were not just student athletes to me, but you and many of your families became a part of my family. I will never forget that. I will never forget you. Let's make sure that no one else forgets you either. Let's make sure that you and others from our time are continuously represented in the NSU Athletics Hall of Fame. Go Knights.